Alright, so as you guys can see, I am starting this video with unload mat. Why? Because I have already recorded this video twice. Alright? From my phone dying to I don't know what's going on. Anyway, if you're at this video, it's because you probably asked to see it on Facebook. Okay. I posted a picture of my shadow boxes. I've done about 10 now, and I have 24 more boxes to go, and I just got my last order. I'm not accepting any more orders, so I just got my last order for Mother's Day just about an hour ago. And I was gonna just do a quick little video of me rolling the flower, but I figured because so many people requested it, I should go ahead and make a full video, just kind of showing you my entire process for rolling flowers. I'm not gonna really do anything else in this video, but I will show you pretty much step by step how I roll my flowers and what my process is behind that. If you have other questions or anything like that, feel free to send me a message on Facebook if that's how you found me, or you can go ahead and leave a comment below, and I can even make another video if it's helpful. I don't know, I've never made a YouTube video before. I'm not a Cricut expert. I'm newish. I've had it a little under a year now, and I've done a few projects, but there's just certain things that I really like to do and that have sold well. So that's what I'm gonna stick with, and I like my process for it, and I'm always, learning new things as well. But if you find my video helpful, of course, follow me, like the video. If not, that's fine. I'm glad you're watching, and I really do hope this helps you. Okay. So, like I said, I've already started because I already recorded this video, but I'm just gonna kind of go back here. All right. And I'll scoot this over for now. So, when I start my order, and typically, personally, I like to do all of my orders pretty much at once. Not all of them, it's like impossible, but I roll a lot of flowers at one time. So as you can see, I have flowers already rolled here. They're ready for another flower box, which I have plenty that they need to go into. But I was in the process of rolling all of these when I posted my picture on Facebook. So I'm still doing that. Anyway, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do just one order at a time. This customer wanted an 8x8 box, color white for the frame, and then the flower colors are red, light pink, white, or light gray. So I'm not gonna do white, I'm actually gonna do a light gray, light pink, and a red. I just think that will look better together. They kind of gave me the option. The paper that I've been using has been this from Michael's Architecture. This is for the grays. Architecture is the name of the grays that I've been buying. It's the 50 packs. I know that there's probably somewhere cheaper to get this paper, but I unexpectedly got the orders that I got, and Michael's was the quickest, cheapest way for me to get these. However, my Michael's is still open, so it wasn't just a delivery. I could actually do curbside pickup, which was really helpful in my case, so I've been fortunate that way. But anyway, this paper is solid core, which means that when you look at the side of it, let me grab a piece, it's not white, it's actually the color of the paper, which is the gray, so solid core. I don't know what the pounds are for. That's silly of me. I probably should have looked it up, but I don't know. Anyway, this is a 50 pack. This has been my most popular color pack that I've used while I've been making these flower boxes. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and show you guys how I gray pack. I'm using this little paper slicer X-Acto thingy. In the comments, I didn't know what it was called. but it's a paper cutter, I guess. So I don't know how long I've had it, where I got it from. It's been a long time. It's probably not going to last me very long, so if you guys have any recommendations, that'd be awesome. I would love to buy a new one because this one's going to go out sometime soon. So I always take this guy, and the paper that I got, the pack that I showed you guys, it's 8.5 by 11 inches. Obviously you can't fit 2 of those on one mat because the mat is only 12 by 12. Now I'm using a Maker or a Explore Air 2. For this tutorial I'm just going to use a Maker, but I have the Air 2 as well, and it's really the same process. If you have the Joy or anything else, I honestly don't know at this moment in time. You can still ask me questions, but I probably wouldn't be the best of help because I don't have that machine. But the mat for the Maker and the Explore Air 2 is 12 inches by 12 inches. And so you can't fit an 8.5 by 11 paper on there. Well, you can only fit 1, you can't fit 2. So as you can see, it's going to go over that halfway mark. And anyway, so you can only cut 2 decent sized flowers on here, or 4 tiny flowers. That's a waste. You waste the paper, you got to cut it. It's annoying. So what I do is I go ahead and take my little paper cutter guy, and I make the paper a 6 by 11 instead. So I'm just taking off 2.5 inches. Okay. I'm just going to show you guys. So I just cut off this 2.5 inches, making it into a 6 inch by 11 inch piece of paper. I have this perfect 2.5 inches. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I know there's better things I can do with this instead of the scrap that I used to have, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, big difference. So, I mean, I've seen some people make their butterflies out of these and other really cute things. So, I mean, maybe if you guys want, I can make another video showing that. Anyway, so now that I have my 6 inch by 11 inch piece of paper, I'm going to put that onto my mat. You're going to want to make sure that it is, my glue gun here, but you're going to want to make sure that you are placing it as accurately on that 6 inch line as you can, because if not, as it tries to cut your flowers, it may get caught, and then you'll have to start over or hurry and take out your mat and whatever. So not very fun. You're not always going to be exactly on the line, and it may miss a little bit, but it really won't mess up your flowers. As long as it actually cuts it and everything, you'll never notice that it cut over the line. I'll show you if it does that. But as you can see here, these aren't going to stick like this. I just wash my mats, but I use them for cardstock all day long. So you want to make sure that you press them down and adhere them to the mat. So I'm just going to do that. I don't have the jumbo scraper. I just have this mini guy here. The little one that came with my basics tool kit that I purchased. Sorry, I have paint all over it because I'm a painter. So anyway, you just want to make sure you take that, and you're going to want to press it down as much as you can to adhere it. See how it's not coming up anymore? That's really important. You don't want this line up or here, because then your machine's going to get caught on it, and that's going to cause you even bigger problems once it's in there. Trust me, I've had to pull it out and try and fix it, and it totally sucks, but you know, you learn and you learn. So anyway, so I got my paper on there, and then I'm going to show you guys in here where I get my rose. I call it a rose. I don't know. It could be something else, but so you're going to want to go into your canvas, your design space, and then I can show you on a clean canvas, but imagine this is, you know, clean canvas. You're going to want to go into images, okay? And then you're going to search up this image. It's pound sign, hashtag, number sign, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to put M4431D. D. Okay, and here it is. So this isn't, I didn't upload this from anywhere. This is from Cricut Access. I would assume you have to have Cricut Access in order to use this. I personally have always had Cricut Access. I don't do any specialty crazy projects yet, so Cricut Access has been very helpful for me because I can find any images I need, and I can make my own stuff from Google or other apps and things like that. So anyway, you're gonna want to insert this flower, okay, and you do that by just clicking it and then clicking insert image. This is too small. This is 3.368 inches wide. So I'm gonna leave it locked, by the way. I know a lot of people, the first thing they do is unlock the dimensions, but I'm gonna leave that locked because for flowers, you don't wanna mess with, you only wanna mess with one of the dimensions, and then it will auto correct the other side of the dimension. So I'm gonna change it from 3.368 up here in the size, the width, and I'm gonna change it to 5.556. Okay, and then you're gonna press enter. I'm just gonna double check that that's the one I want you guys to use. Yeah, so 5.556 is the dimension that I use. Okay, so that gives you this guy here. You can see it comes up close to the 6-inch mark here, a little over the 5. And then you're going to duplicate it 3 times, okay? So, and I mean, you don't really have to organize them on the screen if all you're doing is flowers. It's really not a big deal because I'm not going to be attaching or welding or anything like that. I'm literally just going to make the flowers out of this. So I'm going to click duplicate one more time, so I have 4 flowers on the screen that are all the same size. Okay, and then I'm going to click make it. Alright, and so on this screen you can see that these 2 flowers on the right side go a little bit over the 6-inch line here. You're going to want to push those over a little bit so that the 2 on the right are on the right side of the 6, and then the other 2 flowers are on the left side of the 6-inch mark, which is right up here, you know, the middle, because we align the paper that way. I mean, if you align your paper another way, I'm sure that'd be fine too, but that's how I put my paper on my mat, so that's how I'm going to make sure it is on here. Okay, and then we're going to continue. And again, I'm using my maker today, so it's going to connect to my maker. If you have an Explore Air 2 and not a maker, it's going to be a little bit different for you because you're going to have the little knob dial on your Explore Air 2, and you can change that to cardstock if you want. If you already have a specific setting that you like and you use for it, that's great. You can stick with it if it works. Me, when I use my Explore Air 2, I just left it on custom. The knob, I turned it to custom so that I could always go into here and choose what setting I wanted on, because I never really seemed to get it right until I actually like clicked the exact type of material I was cutting. So this is the maker, so it's going to automatically bring us to this. So I am doing a medium cardstock. The reason I got that is because it's a 65 pound, like I was telling you earlier, and this is 80 pound or less. Okay. And we're not, I'm going to do the light cardstock actually, sorry. So the 60 pound light cardstock. Okay, and then you don't really need to do anything here. I'm going to go ahead and load my mat. Or actually, I've already cut my papers, so I'm not going to load the mat in and do all of that. If you guys want a tutorial on how to cut and stuff, I can show you, but since I've already got it here, I'm just going to show you so I can get right to the rolling part. Okay, so here's my flowers after they've been cut. As you can see here, they're at the 6 mark here, and since I moved them over, nothing overlapped, they're perfectly on their side. So what I do is I just take this off here, and sometimes you have to help it a little bit not get caught on the actual flower, but you just take that right off and it leaves your flowers here. Okay, see how much paper this is compared to if you use that entire sheet and cut it down. You know, it's it's so much more helpful. And I mean, maybe there's something better you could do with these. I have a whole bag of them that I'm just gonna recycle, but it's much better than I used to have, okay? So I'm gonna take this one off as well. I wanna be careful, obviously. I've ripped these guys here quite a few times, but anyway, now you're gonna wanna take them off. Depending on how sticky your mat is, you know how to get them off of your own mat. Mine is not that sticky, so I'm able to kind of just peel them off here. Okay. So I'm just gonna take those off, and I will show you guys how I roll them. Just a moment here. So take them all off, and then what I do when I'm going, and I have a ton, I actually have 3 mats out over here. On my other table, I have both of my machines, but I usually have 3 mats, and I just load all 3 of them up with the paper, and while I'm taking off my flowers that it just made, I'm putting in, you know, the other paper that's loaded, and it just makes it a lot easier and a lot more efficient because I'm usually have more orders than I can handle. So that's what I do. Anyway, so here we are. These like to get tangled sometimes. It's fine, just be gentle with them. They shouldn't rip, you shouldn't have any problems. So by now I would have, you know, my big stack here. This is the glue gun I have. I literally just bought this one because my old one burnt out on me. Hot glue guns are hot. Please be careful. I have injuries myself from these guys. This is, like I said, from Walmart. It uses the mini sticks. It's plugged in. There's much better ones out there, but I just wanted something cheap and easy, and this one wasn't bad. So, and it's been working so far for me. It is quite a bit different from my other glue gun. My other glue gun used to push out big globs of glue, which I thought was helpful. So when I got this one, it was frustrating because it only shoots out pretty much like a little bit. But now that I've gotten used to it, it's actually better because I actually don't burn myself as much, which is awesome. So if you want to reduce the amount of times you burn yourself, probably start with this one if you don't have one. Okay, it's a Sure Bonder from Walmart. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is take my flour. Okay, you always roll from the outside in. I used to use my reversed tweezers here, and I'll just actually quickly show you how to do that in case you don't have a drill. I know some people just don't even, I didn't know how to roll flowers until I did my own research, and I didn't want to buy a quilling tool because I wasn't really a paper lady. I didn't really like making paper crafts, but anyway, these worked perfectly. So I always just kind of take them, and you know, you go from the large side in, okay, and then I just wrap it around there, and I close it so it's locked in there, and then I just twist. So, and I just roll it up in my hands, and you're not going to make really pretty ones the first few times. They're not going to be cute. I mean, I had some really ugly flowers. This obviously takes quite some time. It takes patience. It hurts your hands sometimes. Me, for some reason, when I have to handle tiny things like screws or little pieces of paper, it hurts my hands having to squeeze like that, so it ends up cramping up my hands. But anyway, so before I was kind of like rolling it like this, but as it gets smaller, it's kind of harder to do that. So what I do is I kind of just hold on to it, and then I use my hand to roll it up. Okay, so I made my flower, and then so right afterwards, instead of just letting it go, I've learned it's actually easier to let it unravel in my hands. And that seems like it may take more time, but and again, I'm no expert or pro, but it actually saves me time because I don't have to go back and ravel it back, or you know, twist it back up and roll it back up. It's gonna be exactly how I want it. So I just untwisted it with my hand. You know, you just do it delicately, but I just untwisted it with my hand. You can kind of mess with the outside if it doesn't look good. and I just make sure it's kind of tight there, okay? And then what I do is I flip it over. Oops. I flip it over and I squeeze it closed, okay, so that it looks like this. So I'm literally squeezing it. It's fine. It's paper. It can be bent back. Squeeze it closed, okay, and then I apply my glue. Again, hot glue, so be careful. And then you just press this last piece down, and it gets hot on the bottom sometimes, so sometimes you can't hold it because it gets too hot here, but right now it's not bad. And then I just squeeze it for a few seconds to make sure that it's sealed all the way, okay? And you see, nothing too crazy. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks pretty good, okay? So you can do it that way. You can do it with your reverse tweezers, or if you have a drill, or if your boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whatever has a drill, that's much easier. And I have this impact driver, and so it doesn't have the part where I can kind of twist and tighten my bobby pin in, but what I did was I got a little bobby pin, which I don't know if you can see it, but it's just a regular bobby pin. And I actually taped it to the drill bit that's inside of my drill, my impact driver. So this is just electrical tape. I really don't think it matters, but electrical tape is pretty strong, so it seems to hold up. I've rolled all of my flowers with it and it hasn't, you know, broken off or anything like that, so I'd probably just go with electrical tape to be safe. Yeah, I just taped my bobby pin to the drill bit with some electrical tape, and yeah, so nothing too crazy. See? And then, so what I do now that it's on the drill, I actually face it the same way that I did with my reverse tweezers. Again, you're gonna go from the outside, and I just insert the drill onto the last tab of the flower, okay? And then I just start spinning. Your first time it's gonna seem messy and crazy, and you know, you get the hang of it and you learn what's easier for you to hold it. But you see how much quicker this is to roll. It's so much more efficient. It saves you so much time, and I'm doing it at an angle, so it's kind of weird, but once you get to this point, well, actually I'll unravel it a little bit. So once you get to probably about this point of the flower, it gets a little bit difficult to hold it in that position, but what you can do is take your hand and kind of wrap it and guide it around the drill bit, or around the bobby pin, and then continue to spin it. And then what I do is I push the bottom on there, and then I pull it off. Sometimes the end of your flower is going to get stuck inside of the drill bit, and I'll show you how to deal with that in just a second. But now that I've got it off of there, it's going to look like this. Okay, again, I like to have it unravel inside my hand. I actually help it do so. I let it spin a little bit, but it just seems to work out better that way. Okay, and you see how tiny my flowers are. Maybe there's some bigger flowers you can do, but the shadow boxes I have, they would never fit. This is the biggest size I can go personally with how I roll my flowers, maybe to get it to fit. And anyway, I applied my glue there, same way as before. Okay, squeeze it back to shape. Squeeze it back to shape, and there you go. So, you know, they're pretty uniform. My flowers don't usually look exactly the same, and if I'm being honest, I'm okay with that because flowers don't look the same, but they're pretty close. Okay, now I'm just going to show you a few problems that I have when I do it. So okay, so when you get to this point, after you've rolled it pretty fast, you may find that the end gets stuck on the bobby pin, and it's too hard to pull it off, okay? You don't want to rip your flower. You don't want to have to make your flowers over again. So what I do is I put the drill to reverse, and I just hit it a few times, okay? And I'm still holding it in place. I hit it a few times, and then I can pull it off. It makes it a lot easier. It kind of just loosens the middle part there, and you see, there you go. If for some reason you drop it or whatever and it unravels by itself, maybe you like the look. Maybe that's how you want it to look anyway. So it's perfect. You can glue it right there how it is, you know, apply your glue. I don't like that. It bothers me just because I'm making so many that I have to have pretty similar size. I mean, they're still really not the exact same size. I could do better than that, but it's better than, you know, this difference. So anyway, if for some reason you drop it and it's like that, you can just go ahead, and I kind of just hold it in my hand here, and I put the pin back in the middle, and I just spin. I don't have to do anything too crazy, and I kind of just hold it until it spins back to where I want it, or rolls back to where I want it. You see? So, and now it looks how I would want it to look. And sometimes the middle looks a little bit funky because I rolled it too fast or whatever. And I can kind of mess with that with either my reverse tweezers or even my bobby pin. You can put it back in there and drill and tighten it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply my bit of glue. Okay, and you see, they're not all the same, you know, they're not perfect, but they're still cute and they're really similar and they look good. Different shadow boxes require different sizes of flowers to not have to do so many. Like I said, this is what fits in the shadow boxes that I purchased, and I'll show you those real quick. Whether it's an 8x8, 8x10, 11x14, or a 12x12, these flowers are what fits height-wise or depth-wise. So when I put them in there, this fits perfectly. This box is an 8x8 from Michael's shadow box. You can see it's pretty thin, but it's just perfect for what I need it for. And this one, if you want to fill it all the way, it takes 36 of my size flowers that I do. So that's another reason why I try to get them all similar size, so that it's easier for me when I roll them to know how many more I have to do in order to fill the next box. So yeah, that is how I roll my flowers and everything. If you guys have any more questions, please leave a comment or message me on Facebook where you messaged me before. Whatever it is, I'd be more than happy to make another video if you feel like it's helpful, or just answer your questions if I can. Like I said, there's about 200 people that message me, so maybe messaging back won't be very easy, but if you leave a comment, I can at least just make another video about it. And then, I mean, I can show you guys my setup, how I assemble my shadow boxes, you know, whatever you want. And I'm pretty open to learning to do really anything. And until Mother's Day, so until about May 10th, I'm going to be doing these shadow boxes pretty much all day, every day. So really most of my videos would probably be surrounded around something that I can do with that. After May 10th, though, I can make really whatever videos because I'll have a little bit more free time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helps.